Because, Leslie, the She-Ra and He-Man fandoms are warrior races, fighting in an endless battle of good versus evil. And you won't find better weapons than something that walked straight out of the 80s.
He's right, you know. Why do you think My Little Pony is so overpowered?
And besides, having weapons variety is more fun! So maybe you should hold something more to your weight class. Hey, Commando, are you gonna get a new weapon?
Nah, I already had my fill.
You sure? Don't forget, Alan. Commando Squirrel was stationed here back when he was in the Toon Corps, so he probably has whole stockpiles of weapons of She-Ra and He-Man stashed all around this place.
Yeah, totally, like whole treasure troves, so you better watch out. Yeah.
Is something the matter, Commando?
Nah, it's nothing. What episode are we reviewing today?
Well, this episode is the Razz.
The what?
The episode begins with Princess Tumbler, Beta Boy Bo, and Adora making their way back to Castle Brightmoon.
Did they steal that horse?
Not important.
I beg to disagree.
So Princess Tumbler goes into the front to confront her mother, while Beta Boy Bo and Adora take the back entrance just to sneak Adora in. Princess Tumbler is excited to tell her mom the big surprise, and then leaves her in the dark to go talk to Adora and Beta Boy Bo.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's smart. Keep the fact that you found She-Ra a secret from your mother queen goddess. And also the fact that she's a freaking Horde soldier. Yeah, real intelligent there, Princess Tumbler.
I feel like this is going to end the same way the time the gent found a box of adoptable kittens.
They're so fluffy!
So Princess Tumbler's entire strategy revolves around the fact that Adora could turn her powers on and off like a switch, but she has no idea how they work. So Beta Boy Bo and Princess Tumbler try to buy Adora some time, while Adora goes outside and tries to practice transforming into She-Ra, to no avail. But it's not a total loss, because she somehow managed to find the instant alicorn button.
And that face says it all.
Okay, let's all make a pact here and now. No one tell Princess Celestia about that sword. Leslie, explain why.
So the horse naturally freaks the fuck out and starts running wild. Adora pursues, but in the ensuing chaos loses her disguise, and the townsfolk discover she was once a member of the Horde. So like any sensible army, they instantly try to kill her.
You know, I hate to be that guy, but why didn't she just put on another shirt while she was in Princess Tumbler's bedroom? Because that would have been the sensible thing to do? I mean, I'm sure she could have found something that could have fit her. Anything. So Princess Tumbler and Beta Boy Bo are still stalling the Queen when a couple guards approach saying that they spotted a Horde soldier terrorizing the town with a winged horse, and the Queen is mighty pissed at her daughter.
But Adora managed to take shelter in the woods trying to figure out what the sword's deal is. But then she discovers Madame Razz, who is waiting for Adora. Or someone who looks like Adora, apparently.
You know, I honestly can't tell what kind of archetype they're going for with Madame Razz. Maybe they'd be going for more of a Yoda vibe, you know?
I don't know about that. She doesn't really give off the vibe of wise mentor.
If she's giving off any kind of vibe, it's Old Man McGucket from Gravity Falls.
Knows everything about everything, but is also batshit insane?
Called it.
So Madame Razz takes Adora to a First One's temple and accidentally activates it somehow. This prompts Adora to receive visions of space and time and other things, and she's still wondering what's the heck's going on. But Madame Razz doesn't seem the least bit interested in telling her, and is only interested collecting berries. Meanwhile, Catra's not really taking so hot that Adora defected. But when Shadow Weaver hears about this, she is not too happy, and she blames it all on Catra, and she even goes as far as to say that she's going to be answering directly to their Lord and Master, Lord Hordak.
You know, I'm actually starting to consider that there's something more than just soldier defecting anger being thrown around by a Shadow Weaver.
How so?
Well, it's written in Adora's backstory that she was raised by the Horde, so I guess it makes sense.
But wait, why is she so hard on Catra then? Wasn't she raised by the Horde as well?
Well, Shadow Weaver does give off the vibe that she plays favorites.
Well, Adora and Madame Razz still continue their trip through the woods, with Adora just swimming with questions, trying to figure out what she should do next, until they stumble across an old, destroyed valley by the Horde.
And then Madame Razz gives probably the most practical advice, as well as the most practical rational thought she's given this entire episode.
Dearie, you ran into the woods and asked the first old lady you could find what you should do. No one is going to make this easy for you, dearie. Stop waiting for someone to tell you what the right thing to do is. You're a smart girl. What do you think?
Okay, seriously, what the fuck are they doing with this character?
Yeah, I mean, what is she? Is she crazy, or is there genius behind the madness? I mean, what is going on with this character? She is just so inconsistent.
We don't have time to worry about that. There's a pony in trouble.
Finally, something straightforward and hopefully something we can shoot.
Indeed, Horsey from earlier is in trouble as he's being captured by the Horde. But with Adora's newfound drive as well as convictions, she is able to summon the power of She-Ra, and she pretty much single-handedly takes the entire Horde soldier camp down.
So, is there anybody left to fight?
No, she pretty much Mary Sued it.
No.
Hey, maybe next time. Well, She-Ra gets hit with a blast and falls unconscious, only to wake up as Adora, as Razzle and Swiftwind have already risked her to safety. Adora realizes what she has to do, and she takes Swiftwind, by the way, the Alicorn is now named Swiftwind, by the way, and rides right back on to Brightmoon. Meanwhile, the Queen is chewing out her daughter and Beau for allowing a Horde soldier into the castle. But then She-Ra enters the fray, showing who she is, as well as what she was, and pledges her loyalty to the rebellion.
And the Queen shows no hesitation in allowing the Princess of Power to join their ranks. And thus, a new alliance is forged.
But things aren't necessarily over, as Shadow Weaver throws Catra under the bus and tells Lord Hordak exactly what happened, and that Adora had abandoned them. But he seems surprisingly chill about the whole ordeal. In fact, he straight up says that, hey, if you're down that Force Captain, it's your fault, Shadow Weaver. So make Catra the new Force Captain. And yeah, he lays down the law. And that was Razz. And this episode was a mixed bag.
The setup itself seemed a little bit too forced and quick-paced, and the whole character of Razz just seemed completely out of the blue, especially if you're not familiar with the fandom at all. Like Jenda is here.
But I would say some of the highlights would be centered around both Horsey, as well as seeing Lord Hordak for the first time, and what kind of a villain we're dealing with.
In other words, the things that had the least amount of screen time were the things that were the most eye-popping about this episode. Other than that, it just seemed either predictable or
just plain weird and confusing.
So yeah, this episode felt mostly like filler with a few story-driving elements placed here and there. So with that being said, we're the Cartoon Gentlemen, the organizers of Chaos and Vintage Kings.
And I'm gonna see if I can get full body armor to accompany this shield.
And I'm still interested to seeing what kind of hammers, maces, and axes they have. What about you, Commando?
I'm just gonna go for a quick walk. Don't mind me.
You know, he's been acting weird ever since we got here.
Well, he's acting no weirder than he usually does.
Yeah, but when have you ever known Commando to turn down the opportunity to look at someone else's weapons?
I don't know, Alan. You might be onto something. But maybe it's best to let sleeping lions lie.
Maybe.